Hello and welcome to Life is Magical podcast. I'm your host, Srimanju Katakada, intuitive healer, Akashic Records reader, Hay House author of Connect Your Inner Guidebook, and who believes in experiencing healing and life is magical. Through this show, I'll be sharing my toolbox, which is full of life hacks, tips for rainy days, ways to hold our connections with the inner guide, and much more fun things. Let us begin this journey. So today we are going to talk about faith in healing. We'll discuss the ins and outs of healing and my intake on that. Faith is just not a notion that some people hold on to in tough times. Faith is a very important element to all humans on earth. And as we know, faith is what helps us to get us through or into that from darkness out into the light. This is where the faith helps us, helping us to give strength in times of weaknesses. And without faith, remember, we are nothing. And that is one little light that sparkles within us to see the end of the tunnel or to see the blue clouds coming out from the gray clouds, And this is how important that faith is. And when life can be very hard at the best of the times, faith is the knowledge deep down inside that things will get better is what we all trust and we all know from our gut. It is taking the next step when you can't see the entire staircase, where your dreams are going or what tomorrow is going to look like or anything about, the mountain you're going to climb. You just don't know where the end is as you're on the steep of it. And you have just the faith that you're nearly there and you're going to hold it on. So simply put, life would fail to have reasons if we didn't have the faith. And faith helps us to discover our purpose of life as well. Surely it did help me. When I was questioning up, around 12, 13 years ago, so deeply, asking, what is my purpose of life? What is my intake? Why am I here? And what is that one sole reason that being here? And what do I do for the society or for myself other than just working or having a successful marriage or the children? What else can I give back? And when I went into that deep search of it, healing or the spirituality came into my fore end of my life, and that changed, knowing my purpose and knowing that there is definitely a reason that I'm here for, and that made me dwell deep, deep into it, and I still search for it. I feel like only the day when we stop searching, that is the end. But it's only the commas that we keep giving in our lives, that keeps us going forward. So faith always keeps us alive and things are getting always better. We can see the end of the tunnel, there is always that light waiting for it, and it's just not here, right now in the modern times. It has always been there in the sacred scriptures as well, talking about the faith, and generally when we go back into those kind of books, I realize either it is Bible, Bhagavad Gita, or A Course in Miracles, or Quran, anywhere, it's always connected to the God or the source or to the inner guide or the light that we all believe in. That is where the reflections do come in, and we look upon to it, or we were believed from our ancestors to pray and you will see the faith and things will get better, right? And here is my intake is just don't be conditioned to one external element, you do work towards it, but also remember you have your inner gifts, and that will keep you going, as you accumulate your talent, your gifts, and you grow inside out, the faith automatically will grow, and the light that passes through the tunnel is going to be much at a faster rate because you're building yourself. You're not waiting for an external element to come and fix you or to take you from where you are as well, and this is where that little magic comes in the life, and never give up on yourself, no matter who gives up, It's you who is going to be there from day one to day infinite time. Like whenever you're going to leave, like this is you, your soul with you. Remember that. Like it is just a part of you, and it's not going to be a separate entity or anything above, like, or separate to you. Now, my intake on the healing is healing just comes in different ways, and healing is something that the deep connection that we have in the soul as well. You connect in different parts of it. Think about we are connected to our soul, like from mind, body, spirit, soul, and the full holistic approach, and when the healing is coming, it is coming into all these areas, just not only the physical area, but also rest of the parts in our life, like what's happening there. And as we know, or some of you know, physical issues is a manifestation to the emotions, like what has been stored up. And when we decode those emotions, it gets easier on healing our physical side. And that is the interesting aspect, isn't it? It's just like think about your body is a sacred geometry, and you're trying to work inside this sacred geometry and bring the healing in. And the beauty about it, we survive through the birthing, and we have the ability to heal ourselves, and we have the greatest gift of the survival instinct. Like imagine that baby being there in the mother's womb for 9 months and coming out and just knowing how to breathe and how to suck and just to have the food. Like amazing, isn't it? Just not the human babies, even it's so adorable to see the animals and everything. It's just like it's a part of the nature, right? And the healing comes as an aromatic, yeah, you heal from every injury you get, but of course the timing might depend how fast and how soon you heal. But there is a different wavelength to it. But we do heal, yeah. The best thing to relate for me healing is, before I even was trained in Reiki, is um, a child falls down and just goes to the nearest the parent or a sibling, whoever there is, and they just get the hug, and that's it. Half of the pain is gone, and that is the healing. The love that they get out of it, the energy that they connect to the soul, is where the healing is lying in. So for me, the healing was through all that. What I give back, the hugs, the love, the thoughts that go into, the kindness that goes into. And the other tools that I have adapted so far are like Reiki, pranic healing, or talking to the angels and bringing in the healing, or through the Akashic Records, or even meditation. It just amplifies the healing process so beautifully that I don't need to be in the pain for so long, and also your mind gets so relaxed and calm. It's just prana, the life force that we have within us, just gets rejuvenated and the cells heal so beautifully, and this is where many miracles you would have heard, how a person heals so fast after surgery or wakes up and just moves around, I have seen that myself, through my own surgeries or my children going through the doctors or the surgeries as well, or with the clients even, hearing these beautiful stories just reminds me how powerful these healing tools are, and we are naturally gifted with it. It's just we need to trust, we need to believe, and above all, the faith in the healing is the most important thing. We need to have, yeah. Without the faith, nothing else works. It's your intention that's the most important thing that will be keeping it going, yeah. And this is where we need to be strongly have faith in the healing. Think about it. What is that you will lose by not agreeing, or by being very aggressive, or being a critical thinker? It's just you need to think about hey, so far you haven't agreed, but what for a change I'm going to agree and see if this works, no? And that is the most important thing. Yeah, just give it a chance. Wherever, whatever right now your hurdles are, physically or emotionally, allow that healing to come in. If you're looking for a sign and you're looking for a confirmation, this is it. This is the time, or this is what you needed to hear. So faith and healing, go by it, listen to it, and start work on it, And sometimes think about it, yeah, when you take your power back, you rise and heal, things are not happening, or things are still at the same place. don't be so disappointed. Something bigger is going to happen. You're just going to be prepared for it, So faith is just not the belief that God will do what we want. It is a belief that God will do what exactly is right for us. If things you feel at the human level, you missed a great opportunity. There is a bigger thing is going to happen. You just need to wait and grab that new opportunity. Remember to take the power back to yourself. That's the most important thing, where you can rise and heal. And remember, you're a magic, you're a miracle. And that is the biggest truth. And that is the biggest truth of who you are, the life you're leading. And for me, it is about being open to wondering what the solutions are going to be rather than placing just the energy on the problem and not looking elsewhere for any other solutions. Definitely rise above, look beyond, look from outside. The solution is right in front of you and you can figure it out. So remember, when we were doing the math, the calculations or something when we were kids, I was always told, by my teachers, there is a problem. The solution is within the problem. You just need to break it up, read in small chunks, and you will get that answer. You just need to understand it. It's never that complex, the maths problems or the equations that we have to come up with. So that I still apply in my current life. No matter what I'm doing, if I'm feeling stuck, I go deep into it from a different angle, trying to analyze, hey, I do get it. There is definitely the solution right in front of me, but I don't need to go with the same stressed look. I just need to step away and step back in. Just like people say, sleep over it and you'll find it. And that is so 100% true about it. And faith in spirituality enables us to trust ourselves. With trust, we can just let go of the past and have the courage to dare. To dare with courage gives us the confidence to know what we can achieve and what we can set out to achieve. So, and if we begin with the doubt itself, and there is this thing, you're stepping with the doubt, you're already on the road to the failure, but if you set out a stone with a positive vibe or with a trust, think it's going to be successful. And this is what the law of attraction, law of affirmations, it's all going to come in place and it's always going to be true. Faith in spirituality always allows us to win the battles of life that can be easily conquered. Every step of faith opens another chapter in our life. And this is it. You're writing your own story. You're taking it in your own hands now, into your own responsibility, and you're working towards it. And isn't it that the biggest gift you can give to yourself? So take a time, think about it. Yeah. So the other thing is just not being faith, but also being faithful, that I mentioned in my Connect Your Inner Guide book. It's two complete different things. Having faith to yourself is important, but not having faith on someone else, because that is again, you're giving the power to someone else. It could be in a friend, a relative, or someone you know about, because the results are always going to depend on the external, not on what your ability is or your commitment to your own life is. So think about it where are you holding your faith? Whom do you have the faith in? Is it you or external? Yeah. Because when we as a human, when something goes wrong, we love to blame it on others, and this is where we trust others easily. So we don't need to take the full responsibility. Come on, I have done this for a million times, and now I do very little of that to blame game or anything. Consciously, I don't do that anymore. Just know, if I'm going to do something, I take the full responsibility. And that is what I even tell the kids to do it. At least then you're not holding up a grudge or any negative vibes to anything output. You own the output. If you are not successful at it, you're learning something out of it. If you're successful, you are patting our back. That's it, but this is where you need to bring it forward. And also this is where exactly when we are having that faith on others, especially in the new generations, like, it could be with the faith with a priest, it could be the external things, like, if something is not successful, then we say, it didn't happen because I prayed in this particular God, they didn't bless me, or this person didn't cooperate with me. But think about it. Is that the real reason? Deep inside you, you know that's not the reason. There is a bigger dimension, bigger thing that has to be revealed to you. You're learning about, like, how to have a boundary to yourself, it could be, or how to put courage to you, or to speak the truth, it could be. There are many other things that you're learning out of this particular situation, like, So it's so easy to give your power or faith away, but why do you need to give the permission to someone else? Think about it and take it back. Take it back. Be that superwoman, superman, and take the power back to yourself, like, And there are only things that you can come out of it is only the solutions, like, if we have the right approach, right mentality as well to go through it. And this is exactly what is an internal faith, like, that you build inside out, like, to your own life, to your own missions, to your own confidence, or your talents and your success or your strengths, even, like, And this is who you are. Just from the 360-degree angle, a complete you is being created, And that is the biggest thing, like, yeah. And this is where you hold that Olympic torch and let others follow you. Be that role model or be that example in your family, in your circle, in your tribe. And this is what you're doing the first step ahead, like, um, when I have those wobbly moments of confidence and faith on me, I just look around, like, for people who are holding the torch, like, yeah, sometimes it could be just my children, it could be, or my friends, it could be, like, or just a client that I'm talking to, and they just give me that blink of a moment of that, hey, I need to get back to myself, like, and that is the moment, like, again, I have a connection back, like, yeah. Sometimes we all do, no matter how much we deeply practice, we do have our doubts. We are human. We still function here just like any other chaotic things. So we just need to be reminded. But this is a reminder for you and me too. We can do this together. I'll be your torch carrier, or you can be my torch carrier as well. Like, yeah, let's do this together. That's the most important thing. As Martin Luther King said, like, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. And isn't that beauty? Like, when your dreams are so big, so high, you may not have the possibility of it or thought about it, like, but you still are looking about creating those imaginary staircase towards it. Like, think about it. A couple of years ago, who thought about going to the Mars is possible? Like, now think about it, where we are, or to the moon even, like, grandparents age, like, have they even dreamt about it? Like, but it happened. Like, isn't it amazing? Things that our ancestors couldn't think of a possibilities, things are happening just because someone is holding those torches for us, and we are moving forward. And mostly we do lose this whole faith is when we have the stress, like, when you have the stress, we do lose faith and replace it with fear. Fear is that beautiful thing. Just slips slightly under the bag, like, always stays with that, never leaves it. But every time we take a new step forward, it just shows the symbolizing, hey, I'm here, don't forget about me, like, but if you truly have faith, yet the outcome of an event isn't what is exactly supposed to be, then you know that outcome is in fact exactly what it is supposed to be, and your objective was not meant to be, like, just a slight twist in what the outcome is or what your purpose is about, yeah. But think about, the fear is a good factor. It's a driving force. Fear lets you go forward, achieve and work hard, and also more than work hard, it's working smarter towards it, like, but getting you what you want, that's the most important thing, like, and don't allow those outcomes to dictate who you are, what you're believing, and what is your moving forward thing, like, let it be just low vibes or low stepping things, and let it just go further, like, just I was looking at more details on the faith, like, something popped up from the Bible thing, is because you have so little faith. Truly, I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. And remember, this is the faith the people, the magicians have as well. And they just make us like get into the trance and they do the magic in front of us, right? So, yeah, this is what my intake about faith is and bringing the healing. And it's just not only healing on the outer surface, but healing on the deep side is so relevant, so important, like coming out of the closets or just speaking up your truth, it could be, or letting the world know who you truly are. And don't be afraid to show who you truly are. That's the most important thing. Like, just a couple of things that I would like to share that you can practice as well is uh, practicing faith is so simple, so simple. If only can we give that little bit of a push to ourselves, like, you just need to listen to that quiet voice, the intuition, the little whisper that comes in, and the trust that you'll be taken care of, like, and sometimes I just say, I surrender to this light, to the universe, to the God, to the source, whoever is there, higher power is there, right in front. I surrender, I give in charge, like, you take care of me now, you fix me this issue. And this is all I could do. I can't think of anything else. And that is my faith sometimes. I do. And I just see that whole beautiful dark episode coming into the light. And I see things are being resolved with much ease at the time, like, because I've given my best and my intention is very clear about it. And I just need this thing to be fixed or the pain to be lifted, like, yeah. And give it a try if you're in that situation in your life, where you're not seeing any hope, any light at all, like, this is it. Just pray at whatever you want to, light a candle and pray, or just be on your knees literally and pray and see that miracle taking place. Yeah. And also, like, what you are like having those little notes around, like about the faith or what your gifts are about. This will help you to be such in a beautiful positive vibe and it's surrounded by the good vibes, and that is will regain your faith. And for me, the best thing is writing it down. I always write everything down in my journal, and these records are the biggest gift that you can give. Like in next couple of years, when you look back, like, these are beautiful memories, like where your journey has begun, where you are, what were your hurdles, because when things are getting better, we do forget, we take it for granted, we move faster, but when you keep looking at your journal from time to time, it reminds you what a beautiful toolbox you have been having, or what are you acquiring all the way as well, like, So this will be great to recollect your memories because they do fade away, right? And so, yeah, with that, I'll let you think about it, about like where you're currently and how you can take it in. And lastly, I'll just say, if you don't believe yourself, who else are you going to believe? Let that thought ponder. So, with that, take care. And if you enjoyed this episode, do let me know. Leave a note or a comment, and you can see it in the show notes how to contact me as well. Happy to hear what you felt about this. And thank you for listening in. Life is magical. Remember that. Thank you all for listening in and tuning in to the podcast Life is Magical. I hope you found some good nuggets to move through this week. Want to ask a question? Please email me or stay connected if something resonated or found useful and helpful from this podcast. I love to hear back from you. My email is info@srimanju.com. That is SRIMANJU, which is in the show notes below. Until next week, namaste and good day. Happy magic. Love to you all. Thank you for listening in.